Back, spare me the phony outrage. Real or unreal? The McCain campaign must think it's on to something here. It's not backing off. We're going to spend most of tonight's hardball talking about whether the McCain campaign is smearing Obama or whether when he said lipstick on a pig, he really was talking about Governor Palin. We'll talk to Democratic and Republican office holders and strategists and to journalists covering the campaign. And I'll share my own thoughts with you about how, with a troubled economy, crumbling bridges, rail and roads, a failing educational system, a war that is now going on for 5 years, and an uncertain American economic future, we're sitting here talking about lipstick. So let's begin with two political strategists on either side of this issue. Republican John Feehery, who worked for many years for the Speaker of the House, and Democrat Jenny Backus, responsible for the Democratic Convention out in Denver. Well, let's take a look right now. Here's John McCain using the lipstick line himself twice last year. This is John McCain, not Barack.
In 1993, we rejected the then Clinton universal health care proposal. It was rejected by the American people. I don't like to use this term, but the latest proposal I see is putting lipstick on a pig, as we used to say.
There's many things that concern me about it. It's vaguely, not vaguely, but eerily reminiscent of what they tried back in 1993. I think they put some lipstick on the pig, but it's still a pig.
Well, there you have it, John Feehery. Was he talking about Governor Palin then?
Looking in the room, I think inside the room they thought he was. This follows a sustained...
No, it was John McCain talking.
Oh, John McCain, I'm sorry.
But he used the exact phrase. The same
that was well before...
What was he talking about, Governor Palin?
No, of course he was.
Who was he talking about?
He was talking about a health care proposal.
Let me go on to let me go to Jenny Backus. Was John McCain talking about Governor Palin when he used the phrase "lipstick on a pig"?
No, he's talking about Hillary Clinton's health care policy, the same Hillary Clinton that voters that they seem to be trying to go after now. Hey, look, Chris, if Republicans want to talk about makeup, let's talk about what they've been making up about Sarah Palin's record. Let's talk about what they've been making up about their economic record or the makeup of the next Supreme Court. But I think you had it right with the title of the show. The Republicans are employing weapons of mass distraction to get away from the whole issues that are out there that voters care about. And I just don't think it's going to work at the end of the day.
Jenny and John, let's roll and let the McCain campaign speak for itself. Here's what they're saying out there in a web ad out right now.
You know, they say the difference between a hockey mom and a pit bull? Lipstick.
But you can't. You can put lipstick on a pig. It's still a pig.
One of the great lessons of that campaign is the continued and accepted role of sexism in American life.
So what do you make of that confection, John? Putting it all together, they put together Barack Obama's comment. They put together, before that, Governor Palin's comment. Then they throw in Katie Couric of CBS. They say, in fact, at one point, this is Barack Obama speaking about Sarah Palin. Was he speaking about Sarah Palin?
Well, like I said before,
it says that. Was that true?
People inside the room certainly thought so. He was making a joke. People thought it was...
John.
How do you know what people in the room thought?
Because you could tell by the reaction.
You could tell. Okay, John, let me ask you this. Let me just straighten one thing out tonight, because this is a very important issue. Is John McCain saying that Barack Obama called Governor Palin a pig? Is John McCain saying that Barack Obama called Governor Palin a pig?
I don't think so. I think what he was saying was he was making kind of a joke at Sarah Palin's expense. He wasn't calling her a pig, obviously.
What was he doing? What was he saying?
Yeah, I think what he's saying in this commercial is that this is a problem that you have to be real careful in this campaign what you say.
Oh, careful. Well, are you saying it?
I am saying it. Of course you are.
You believe he was referring to Sarah Palin?
I don't know.
Just a minute. Let's get to it. Because if it's not, just a minute. I'm doing your job for a second here. Then you can take over. I'm just trying to get straight what we're talking about here. Because if John McCain isn't accusing his rival of calling his running mate a pig, then we shouldn't be talking about this. Well, if he didn't call her, but we're seeing a commercial that says Barack Obama on Sarah Palin put out with the money of John McCain's campaign. So he's not endorsing his campaign ad? Yes or no? Is he endorsing that message or not?
I have no idea.
Well, he is. We just saw it. He paid for it.
Well, he did pay for it. Listen.
Okay, then John McCain is saying that his opponent, Barack Obama, is called, in fact, his running mate, a pig.
No, I think that what...
It said Barack Obama on Sarah Palin right there. I'm not going to say it again, but you can respond.
I think what the issue...
The audience, by the way, is watching. They know what's being said in that commercial. We'll play it again, but I think it's enough for them. They've heard it.
Let me just say that I think that the fact of the matter is that you have to be very careful what you say in this campaign. I think everyone agrees you have to be careful. And I'd like that. Frankly, I would like to get back on the big issues.
No. You're saying no, because you're not going to get back, because this is all over the place. Let's take a look at the number of times McCain used the phrase lipstick on a pig fairly recently. Sure. In October of 2007, he used it in terms of Hillary Clinton's health care plan. In February 1st, a couple of times, February 1st last year, he used it in terms of the Iraq War. John Boehner used to work with one of the top Republicans. In fact, he's leader of the Republican Party in the House right now. He used the phrase in April of this year. In April of 2005, Senator John Kyle of Arizona used the same phrase. Rod Grams, the former senator from Minnesota, used the same phrase. Rick Santorum, the former senator of Pennsylvania, used the same phrase. John Ensign, who was just on the show recently, he used the phrase last year. This is a phrase commonly used by Republican politicians. But you say when Barack Obama uses it, he's talking about Governor Palin. I just want to know, what's your standard of proof? If you're in a courtroom right now, could you convict him of calling Governor Palin a pig?
I wouldn't even try.
Well, then why are you suggesting that's what he meant?
I didn't say that.
Want to run this commercial again?
No, what I said was that you have to be careful of this campaign. The people inside the room
What are you guys giving us, etiquette rules? Let me tell you something. Let me just show this to you. This is Tory Clark, who was press secretary for guess who? John McCain.
Right.
She wrote how you use the phrase lipstick on a pig in her book of that title.
Right.
She's teaching people how to use the phrase and what it means. Here's what she says. Spin has become increasingly vulnerable as information sources have proliferated. Spin is simply no longer viable. Or, put another way, you can put lipstick on a pig, but it's still a pig. She's saying it's a standard usage phrase for cutting through spin. Exactly the way Barack Obama, the Democratic candidate, used it. Your witness, Jenny.
Well, the other thing
I made my point, which I think is the Republicans use this phrase relentlessly. All their leaders use it. John McCain uses it. His former press secretary wrote a book entitled Lipstick on a Pig, explaining how to use it to cut through spin. John, you're allowed to say uncle on this show. Well, you're allowed to come on and say, my party in this case is full of bunk. You're allowed to do that. I give you time to think about that.